practical and all-round, cost-effective. You usually praise a handle. Do you often use these words? But recently there was a handle that I just glanced at, and I implemented it on the spot. Wow, fucking is good looking. Latency can definitely reach 9 points. The Gospel K20 I have in my hand is an advanced version of the K10. The price is 30 yuan more expensive and comes to 199 yuan, and there is a standard charging base in the package. 2 swing caps. The 2.4G receiver Type-C cable also has an extra replaceable arrow pad than the K10. The handle is currently available in 3 colors: pink, black gold, and white green. A mature and introverted player like me must be this lady fan at first glance. The transparent face shell is magnetic, replaceable. Take it down and you can directly pick the motor and play. Such temptation. I can't stand the original design of the girl on the shell from Okuya City. You see that this one has a handle feature. The disc arrow keys that come with the handle can also be replaced with the cross arrow in the package. The K20 has more changes on the back. In addition to the mode switch and charging contacts, it also adds a 3-stage trigger lock and 2 expansion buttons. And it is also a shell-shaped paddle type spare part. These 2 beautiful little things. As if you can talk, princess, please press me. There are many places where the handle can shine. It's just a beautiful word. The double sky base also has an indicator light, and the appearance is not to be said. It also has a receiver at the bottom. The storage compartment is more detailed. What do you think of the appearance of K20? I personally think from the whole to the details, can be seen that Aoja style innovation and boldness are quite good. In terms of grip, the handle weighs 268 grams, which is quite weighty. The mold is very full, and it can hold the entire palm of the hand is relatively solid. I made the anti-slip lines on the bottom and back shallower. Hand slide action keys may occur when sweating. Press crisply. The feedback is obvious. The voice is not loud either. It can also be triggered quickly indirectly, and the feel is crisper. Acceptance is uniform, but a bit of a cavity sound trigger with 3 sections to form a lock. When switching to the longest gear, the damping feeling is moderate and forms long enough. Playing racing games is definitely a pleasure. The peeling back key requires a certain amount of trigger force, coupled with the slippery contact surface. Pressing for a long time is a bit tiring. In general, there is no major problem with the handle in hand, but in terms of the comfort of some buttons, there is still room for oil painting. The famous figure Shin Gongbao once said that the prejudice in people's hearts is a mountain. So I am always unconsciously worried about good-looking book handles. It is useless, and I am afraid that it will be a mess in performance. How does curling perform at the algorithm level? Through the Noble Network test, the case is not created, the trick is also accurate. Both the long and medium range triggers have a bit of space range. Accidental touches are prevented. By default, remote sensing has a central electronic area that has been tested in. Within 3%, you can switch to no dead zone mode. The default is circular tuning. The error rate of source change is 0.2%. You can also switch to an Xbox-like with the turbo key and the screenshot key. The error rate of square and circular tuning of the handle is about 10%. These 2 tuning schemes can basically meet the needs of all games. The return rate of the joystick in 2.4G mode, it easily reaches more than 1000 Hz. The average resolution is around 1200 Hz. When connected by wire, the return rate is close to around 700 Hz. The turbo and left stick combination can adjust the grip and vibration when the vibration is at the highest gear. Some numb hands suggest choosing the default mid-range. Look at it this way. In fact, the performance is quite good. Rocker with 1000 Hz return. There are no dead zones at the true center point. Can completely sing all the carriage balls. High precision games. K20 is compatible with PC, Switch, Android. The iOS platform supports one-click wake-up and 6-axis gyroscope when used on the Switch platform. The body feeling is relatively silky, and the motion capture is very sensitive. After playing the PC racing game for a while, the linear trigger press resistance fit is suitable. The process of giving is very delicate. Switch to short trigger. When playing FPS games, although the design feel is lacking, it is not tiring to press. In addition, the handle also supports ABXY key value interchange. The left stick and arrow keys are interchangeable. Can perform 32 red programming and one-click bursts. Overall, it's quite comprehensive. It's a little regrettable. The software still uses a third-party keylinker, but it has all the features it should have. Modifications, waist bar depth adjustment, motor vibration, RGB, etc. can be set. Finally, let's see if the K20 is the same, and the dismantling process is not smooth. The handle part is quite tight. It is recommended that students do not do it themselves unless necessary. The action button is a micro movement with a layer of bullet wall. Silicone D-pad is the shoulder key of conductive glue. The back key and other function keys are clear switches. The movers and joysticks are Hall, which saves materials. There is no battery compartment, but this time the battery capacity has risen to 1000 mAh. If I remember correctly, at that time, the K10 only had a 600 mAh battery and the PCB board was a socket. Connection, the motor is welded. Overall, the internal workmanship and materials of the handle are still okay. Especially the performance parts are not ambiguous. Speaking of high latency, I personally feel that the biggest advantage of K20 is that it is fully adapted to almost all platforms. Hall joystick with a 3-stage flight lock 1000 Hz return rate, there is no charging base yet, and it feels like it is within the price of 199 yuan. The basic configuration has been full. To be honest, I can't see the top in terms of performance, but the focus is on balance and comprehensiveness, especially with multi-platform players. Of course, the handle contains optimization space. For example, the feel of the back button is generally not as good as its own software, and the vibration is not enough. Delicately, it depends on the students to make trade-offs according to their own needs. Anyway, the book cake was placed on the TV table like this, delayed. Indeed, invincible, everything else is casual.